having his statement about Conor's manager coming to MVP and trying to set up a fight, but them not doing it because it isn't associated with the UFC.
Jake Paul stirs the pot once again, this time hinting at a possible showdown with Conor McGregor just when it seemed he couldn't get any bolder. Now, he's openly declaring that he's ready to take on McGregor in the ring. That's right, but what's really turning heads are the bizarre conditions he's attaching to the challenge.
Doesn't want to push for unless the UFC is directly at the table negotiating, because quite
against all odds, Jake Paul has managed to convince many that he's a serious boxer, and now, he's laying down terms that require the involvement of UFC or Dana White, or else it's a no-go. Really, Jake? You're setting your sights on Conor McGregor, a fighter who's conquered both MMA and boxing, but only on your terms? Is this the dream fight fans have been craving, or just Jake drumming up hype for his next headline grab? Jake's latest twist in the combat sports narrative is a shocker. He says McGregor's camp is desperately working behind the scenes to arrange a fight. Even more surprising is how they're going about it, by bypassing traditional channels and bringing in Bellator standout Michael Venom Page as a go-between. The idea that McGregor's team would reach out via a rival promotion? It's nothing short of astonishing.
Having his statement about Conor's manager coming to MVP and trying to set up a fight, but them not doing it because it isn't associated.
But, staying true to form, Jake Paul didn't go down the expected route. Instead of chasing McGregor's attention like everyone predicted, Jake took a sharp left turn, demanding that Dana White and the UFC step in. No UFC, no fight. Jake wasn't simply posturing, he was making sure he negotiated from a position of strength. This sudden insistence on UFC involvement left many baffled. Why was Jake drawing this line in the sand? Let's not forget, this is Jake Paul. His entire brand has been about breaking conventions and shaking up the system.
I'm just saying, for the UFC to grant Conor McGregor the right to fight Logan Paul, and Dana hates the Pauls, you know how Dana holds grudge.
When Jake Paul calls on the UFC to get involved, it's not just a flex, it's a calculated maneuver. He's harnessing the UFC's global muscle like a grandmaster playing his most powerful piece. Dana White and the UFC offer more than legitimacy, they bring global exposure, industry authority, and a massive international fan base. It's a move right out of Conor McGregor's own strategy book. McGregor himself has publicly challenged institutions like WWE, proving that crossing platforms garners global attention. Let's be honest, knocking out a few influencers doesn't catapult you to global fame.
Dana White clause attached to this contract for Conor McGregor and Jake Paul, or Conor McGregor Logan Paul, none of this
By making this demand, Jake Paul isn't just creating drama, he's making a strategic power play. He's forcing the UFC, the same organization that once ridiculed him, to possibly recognize him as a real contender. He's not requesting respect, he's commanding it. Now, the sport's biggest organization faces a dilemma: snub Jake and lose a massive payday, or take the fight global and ride the wave. No matter what they choose, Jake is shifting the playing field and potentially revolutionizing how fight deals are made.
You guys see the Logan Paul Conor McGregor wins in that fight? I think Logan Paul.
I mean, we haven't seen Conor fight in a while.
I feel like Logan Paul, at his size, when he fought Floyd too, that was years ago. He's like been training, he's in insane shape.
Man, I wish Conor wasn't doing these.
And if the Paul McGregor speculation wasn't already heating up, new whispers are emerging about the location of this blockbuster fight. ESPN's Salvador Rodriguez reports that the long-anticipated clash between Logan Paul and Conor McGregor might take place in July, August, or September 2025 in a surprising venue, India. The powerhouse behind this potential mega-event? The Ambani family, famous for their extraordinary fortune and global influence. With their backing, this isn't just another high-profile fight, it could become a worldwide spectacle.
I think $100 billion family looking to kind of replicate what's going on in Riyadh season in Saudi Arabia. How they're pushing into boxing. India with that kind of money, maybe.
Choosing India as the stage isn't a shot in the dark, it's a well-thought-out decision. India, with its rapidly growing combat sports audience, represents a booming market that's eager for more action. Hosting such a marquee fight there sends a bold message to the world: the future of sports is expanding and fast. And the money? That's where it gets staggering. With the Ambani family involved, whose collective wealth tops $113.5 billion, this event could be funded without them blinking. This isn't just about entertainment, it's a total game changer in sports business. A fight between Jake Paul and Conor McGregor on Indian soil wouldn't just be a spectacle, it would be history in the making, with rupees and dollars lighting the way.
First, it just came out. Conor just put it on Twitter that he was in talks with the Ambani family to...
And the timing? Flawless. With no major global sports events scheduled for mid-2025, the world's eyes would be fixed on India. This wouldn't just be a fight, it would be a bold, show-stopping event capable of reshaping how major bouts are planned and staged. Let's examine the fighters. Conor McGregor, legendary for conquering 2 weight divisions and becoming a household name. Then there's Jake Paul, the internet star who somehow convinced the world he belongs in the ring. McGregor's style is as flamboyant as his image, centered on knockout power that's ended fights in seconds.
He's a big dude and he can crack.
Yeah.
And I always say that people look at him like a guy who's a YouTuber and they're denying his skills.
Not anymore, bro.
And now we have Jake Paul, who has built a boxing career few can ignore. Transitioning from viral fame to legitimate athlete, he's made headlines and enemies. As of November 2024, he holds an 11-1 pro record, his only loss handed to him by Tommy Fury in February 2023. Impressive, right? Let's also remember his amateur win over Deji back in 2018, putting his overall tally at 12-1. Critics may question his opponent's level, but whether he's trading jabs or starting feuds, Jake Paul is undeniably one of the most talked about figures in combat sports today. And don't count out Logan Paul, he's gone from prankster to puncher, fighting KSI twice and walking away with a draw and a split decision. Fans still argue over who came out on top.
And it does show us that this is a Jake Paul driven thing going on here, and that Conor McGregor makes sense because he's probably still one of, if not the biggest name in combat.
So, why does this matter? Because Jake Paul isn't merely targeting Conor McGregor, he's taking a swing at the UFC's entire ecosystem. By demanding their participation, Jake is challenging Dana White's authority while pushing most valuable promotions into the spotlight. It's not just a bold ask, it's a strategic move that could upend traditional fight promotion models. The implications could be enormous. If Jake succeeds, it could pave the way for more high-stakes, cross-promotion super fights. Just imagine, MVP and UFC teaming up, Jake Paul's media savvy fused with the UFC's global might. It's a vision that could change the sport forever.
Logan said you might be next. Would you be?
Slap the nose off.
He's gonna be like.
This isn't just a grudge match fueled by ego. Conor McGregor has taken some hits to his reputation, legal run-ins, lost endorsements, and disappointing performances. Facing Jake Paul might seem like a step down, but it could also be the perfect opportunity to remind the world why he's still the notorious. Meanwhile, Jake Paul is playing a different game entirely. His callouts are laser-focused. By targeting MMA icons, he's positioning himself as the new force in combat sports, the man who not only fights but rewrites the rules. That's what makes this so electric. It's not just about fists, it's about the storyline. Jake, the internet agitator, challenging McGregor, the Chaos King. It's classic versus chaos. It's history against disruption. It's entertainment at its peak.
Easy as it sounds now, based on how I felt about this 4 years ago, that Jake Paul would give Conor McGregor real problems in a boxing ring and potentially knock him out.
This clash could alter the sport's future. A Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor fight isn't just a spectacle, it's a template. It would prove that crossover fights work, that influencers can contend with veterans, and that combat sports is evolving right before our eyes. Love it or hate it, it's impossible to ignore. This isn't just a grudge match, it's a cultural shift. So, is Jake Paul serious or bluffing once again? With all the wild turns and bold moves he's known for, it's hard to be sure. What do you think? Can Jake really take on McGregor, or is this just another headline-stealing stunt from the king of controversy? If you enjoyed the fight, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more knockout content only on Knuckle Forge.